Hello everyone, my name is Vinay and today we are going to learn what is HTML and where we use it. I have included a little introduction of this language because I believe in making the foundation really strong, because if you are starting your journey with a particular programming language, then it is very much important that you understand what the programming language is all about, where do we use it, and from where it came into existence, right? If you know the basics really well, believe me, you will have great time working on this language. So with this intent, let's start the video today. The full form of HTML is Hypertext Markup Language. To further elaborate this, I have broken down this complete name into three different sections as you can see on my screen. The first one is Hypertext, the second is Markup, and the third one is Language. If we understand all these words one by one, I guarantee you will never forget what is HTML and why we actually use it. Let's now discuss what is hypertext. To understand this in greater detail, we need to find out the difference between a simple text and a hypertext. Let's assume we have a real book here. In a real book, we have text, right? But that text is not non-responsive and static. But on the other hand, if we talk about a web page, we also have text in it, but we can make this text responsive by adding a hyperlink to it. When you click on this hyperlink, which is added with a text, will take you to some other web page or a document. This text is clickable and responsive. We call it as hypertext, right? If you find the meaning of the word hyper on the internet, you will find that this means going over or beyond, which actually relates to this situation, as when you click on a hypertext, it takes you to a different location on the web. So I hope now you understand what is hypertext. On a web page, you don't only find the hypertext, right? You also find images, videos, audio clips. So those are also called hypermedia because those are connected with each other, right? When you click on some file, this takes you to some other location on a web page. So those are also called as hypermedia. So I've told you this because of your understanding, because hypertext and hypermedia is something very related to each other, right? Hypertext, we have text in it. Hypermedia, we have video, images, and all other file types in that, right? Now, I hope the difference between text and hypertext is clear to you. Now, let's discuss what is the meaning of markup and how does it fit with the HTML programming language. I'll describe this with a very simple example wherein I'll take two web pages and we will compare those in the end to understand what is markup and how important is it with HTML programming, right? Let's talk about the first web page here. In this web page, I would like to add a picture like this, and then I would like to have some text on it. Then I'll add one more picture and then some more text. Now this page is ready, right? Now let's go to the next page. Just below it, I've added one photo here, right? One image. Here I would like to add some text about the picture and one partition line after that. After that, I'll add one more picture and some more text with the partition line and so on. In the last, I'll add some text, right? Now let's compare both the web pages. Which one would you like? I assume the answer is the second web page as it has a nice layout and it has every component which is placed very beautifully and the structure is very well defined as opposed to the first web page where we do not have any structure of the page and the components are overlapping, which makes it a weak player in this comparison game, right? I hope you must have understood the intent of this example. Yes, you guessed it right. With the help of markup language, we define structure of our web pages. So only adding components on the web page is not enough. You will have to take care of the entire structure or the layout of your web page. It is done with the help of markup language. Now, since you understood what is hypertext and what is markup, let's jump on to the next word, which is language. Language is very important to understand each other, and we all know it. How important is it for all of us? Similarly, language is very important for computers as well, as they don't understand human language. They speak the language of zeros and ones, which is called as binary language. Let's see how HTML helps as a language. On the internet, we send requests to servers for various web pages and documents. Server respond to our request and send a response back to our machines if they have the requested item stored in their storage. But our machine does not understand the response sent by the server. Hence, we require a middleman to decide the messages sent by the server to our machine. This middleman is an application which is installed on your machine. We call it as web browser. This web browser only understands the code in HTML language. So here we need HTML for a smooth communication between these parties. The browser receives the response from the server in the form of HTML code, which mentions how to display the content on your machine. And accordingly, after receiving those instructions in an HTML file, your browser displays all the content which is available in that particular instruction set, right? So I hope now you understand what is HTML and why is it important. Thank you so much for investing your precious time here. I hope this gets counted. Thank you so much. Until the next time.